I'm going to bring in a very special guest. I'm going to bring in my dad. I'm going to bring in Doug Braymeyer, Wilton's own. I know he's special to a lot of people in town. He's certainly special to me. And he's also my buddy. So he's not only my dad, but he's my best friend. So we're going to have him come in here, and we're going to go ahead and have a seat. Dad, put on the mics or the headphones here. And then I'm going to clip in a wireless mic here for you, too.
All right.
Okay. Hopefully, hey, Charlotte, are we seeing some people watching live right now? I'm guessing we probably are. Hey, if you could, I don't know if you can give any comments through the app that we're leaving, but give us a couple thumbs up, give us a couple comments. I want to make sure that the sound is sounding good. And, Dad, here, it's going to be a little redundant, but I'm telling every guest how you hear yourself is how they hear you.
Okay.
So get in nice and close there to the mic.
Yeah.
You can scoot in a
there
little
you
bit
go.
closer. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, it's coming.
Now
Yeah,
we're,
sounds real good. Yes. Okay.
Now we're in our own little bubble here.
I think so. As long as everybody gets to see us and hear us here, that's what we want.
Let's take a deep breath here. We've already been going for a while.
Okay.
We've had Santom Mauer Claus in here already with Lori.
I saw Magic Dan was here.
Magic Dan was here, and I want to thank Dan for coming in too, because Dan doesn't really like to be in front of the camera and everything, but he's a pal of mine, and he was gracious enough to stop by. And I don't know if you heard, he told a wonderful story about how he got a dirt bike for Christmas. Him and his brother Andy used to have to share a dirt bike.
Oh, wow.
And then one year, Steve wheeled in another dirt bike that, if you remember, the Yamaha 100 trail bike that then ultimately got sold to Aaron Kaiser that him and I would bang around in.
I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah, so that was a neat story. So, and I know we're talking about Christmas right now,
yes,
but the old man here and my lovely mother, Lenore Braymeyer, just celebrated 47 years of marriage on December 3rd. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. 47 years, it's like everybody talks. Where do the years go? And it is so true. But 47 years, I mean, look at us. We look great yet. How can that be?
My goodness.
People are wondering, how do you two do it? Well, I guess it's just good hard work.
Yeah, beef tallow on the skin and Pilates and lots of stretching.
And raising children, especially you. I guess it kept us young. I wondered for a while, Joe.
I guess. Yeah. So far so good. I'm just looking. There's some hustle and bustle going on down here already.
Yes, there is. Driving down here, the streets are getting pretty full. Look, I'm glad to see that. That's awesome.
Which, before we get into your Christmas story, because we've got some time here.
Okay.
Let's do a plug for Joe and Doug's collection that we have decided. You know what? You can only hold on to this stuff for so long, so we've decided to pass it on one piece at a time. So if you're looking for any Christmas gifts, you drive by the station, things are thinning out, but people have been scooping up some really good deals on some really cool stuff.
Yes, as we've said, we just had a lot of fun collecting stuff over the years, but there comes a time and everybody, you must be going to retire. Well, if I can stay healthy, I am not retiring. Believe me. So everybody say, you're selling stuff because you're going to retire. I have no plans of retirement. The hours may be a little shorter, but no, I'm not retiring. And the price of all the stuff Joe and I have collected, prices go up and down. And the market's pretty good right now, and we thought, you know what, it's time to move on with some of the stuff. Yes, we've had a lot of people, we missed the pig and missed that, and sometimes it makes me a little sad, but hey, we're moving on. So,
I mean, quite honestly, we talked about this where we said, hey, listen, we spent 10 years collecting this stuff together, building memories together, and I said, you know what, Dad, I know you're going to live to be 199 years old, but you know what? I don't want to have to someday deal with a giant collection by myself. So let's take the next year or two. Let's enjoy getting rid of it one piece at a time, just like we enjoyed getting it. And I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it is because we started accumulating all these cool things and building out this roadside attraction. But in reality, we did it for ourselves because it was fun. And we're having just as much, I would argue, it's almost more fun to see it go down the road to someone else.
We've met a lot of fun people. The folks from Iowa City, the father-son collectors. We've gotten really Ryan and Will Wade. They are father-son collecting stuff, and it's fun collecting and then seeing them, they're excited to buy it for their collection too. because as you and I said, no seller's remorse. So we're moving forward, and hey, we're having fun selling it. It's fun. We've met a lot of cool people.
We had one guy stop in and he bought some playground spring toys from us. He bought like 5 of them. Super fun guy. We got talking to him and I was like, "What do you collect?" And of all things, he's like, "I collect anvils," or he did. He was an anvil collector for the longest time. And what did he say? He was just collecting for years. And then one day he just decided, I have scratched the anvil itch all the way down as far as it'll go, and I'm going to sell them all. And he liquidated them all.
And I believe he said he sold $50,000 worth of anvils.
Craziness.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, it's just whatever you're into, whatever you collect. Some people wouldn't give us a nickel for some of those signs. Other people, give us thousands. So
and it's interesting because we never once really looked at an item that we bought thinking, oh, this is going to be worth a lot of money someday. We started acquiring items. Let's face it, who looks at a giant 7-foot tall fiberglass pig and goes, boy, if we sink our money into that, that'll be a good investment someday. We bought it because it brought us some joy and some happiness, and people saw it. And if a byproduct of Dad and I being happy over a 7-foot pig, if the byproduct of that was someone else from town got a kick out of it or shook their head and laughed when they drove by, you know what? That was just icing on the cake.
Many people have, because I've probably gotten more guff over the pig than anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was our landmark. Our kids like that. We knew where to turn. And if there's any little seller's remorse, it might be the pig, just a little. But yeah, a guy from Minnesota come all the way down to purchase that. We couldn't believe it. Drove from Minnesota to buy the pig.
It was wild. And not only did he drive from Minneapolis to buy the pig, but then he turned right back around and came back and got the trumpet man, Lord Farquhar, as we were saying. It looked like the guy from Shrek, the trumpet man.
Yes, and Bob Glennie was so glad. He disliked that trumpet man. He was so happy he was gone. For some reason, it irritated him. So that's why we kept it there for a while longer, just to irritate Mannix.
Yeah, just to tease him.
He didn't know that, but we kept it there for him.
But back to this quick story of the guy who bought 5 spring toys. This guy started showing us his collection through pictures on his phone, and we were like, okay, we don't have the disease as bad as some people have. I thought this was such a touching story. He bought the bridge that he proposed to his wife on way back when they got engaged. There was a big iron, like a bridge you would drive across, and for whatever reason, that particular county was going to tear that bridge down and build a new one, and he bought the bridge and put it on their own property, along with a gazillion other things that they've got. But how neat of a story is that?
Yeah, we've gotten there again. Meet so many people. They all have cool stories like we do. We probably bore some people with it. We're like, oh, I remember where we found this. Or a lot of stuff we've gotten to. People drive by and come back. Hey, I've got this out on the farm. Would you guys be interested in that?
Yeah.
And we've got some stuff on display that is not for sale. When people give us something like that, we just talk about it.
Yeah. And that's just it. You know, people drop off stuff, and, you know, I was talking with Lynn about this the other day, where people from the kindness of their own heart, they want to give you an item because they're like, I feel like this would mean something to you. And it does. It could be this pen. And if someone gives it to us, it means something to us because they gave it to us. But with that comes a little bit of responsibility too, because we got to remember, oh, wait a minute, we didn't buy that.
Yeah.
Somebody gave us that. And so that's not really ours to sell, because we've never looked at this collection from a monetary standpoint. We've looked at it through the fun lens. And, you know, I'm just glad we're moving it down the road so we can move on to the next thing that we're going to get hot and heavy into.
Oh, yes.
You know.
Who knows what it'll be, but we'll be back into something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I doubt it'll be golf.
Yeah.
We're not really golfers, but I'm sure once the collection has moved down the road and we've passed it on to the right people, then yeah, we got to figure out what the next itch is going to be that we're going to scratch.
You'd come pulling in and Grandma Faye would, oh no, what's he have now? More junk. And you would harass her and bring it in, set it right in the middle of the office just to harass her.
Oh yeah.
So you've had fun getting Grandma worked up, but she's having fun with it too.
And that's why we got that Maxine statue.
Yes.
That Maxine statue. If you haven't been in the station for a while, you got to stop in. If we all remember the cranky Maxine character from the Hallmark cards, and we were able to find in a church basement of all places a one of 40 ever made life-size statue of Maxine from the Hallmark cards. And it looks just like Grandma Faye.
Yeah.
And so,
she's handled it real well. I'll give her credit.
Oh, she loves it.
And people have had so much fun razzing her. They'll come in, well, hello, Faye, looking at the statue.
Yeah.
And she's loved it. She's played up to it quite well. She's taken it like a champ. So we've had fun with that.
If there's one thing that we end up selling that she might be kind of like, wow, I can't believe they got rid of that, it'll be the Maxine statue.
It'll be the Maxine statue.
Yeah, that's why we've put a we don't want to sell it price on the Maxine statue. Everything else is for sale reasonably. The Maxine, we got that at top of the mark. So
yes.
we don't need to get rid of that yet. So, Dad, tell me a Christmas story. I asked you to tell us one.
Yeah.
All right, scoot this in here.
I've got a couple. As a little child, we would go out to Grandma Leona and Grandpa Harold's farm, right out across from Herbie Olson's farm, right out on out of the county line. Great little farm. We had a lot of Christmases there. And Grandma Leona, she was pretty stern. Well, I maybe had a little bit of you in me. And one day we were out there, and she had her Christmas decorations all set up, and I got to mess around, probably like you, probably throwing a few things.
Here, while you're telling us, I'm going to hold these up.
Sure enough, whatever I threw got mischief on.
Well, we have the O.
Yes.
We have the E. We have the L.
These were little candle holders from Grandma Leona Braymeyer.
Uh-oh. There was an empty spot here.
There's an empty spot. Well, whatever I was messing around, I threw something, it fell down and busted. And that is one of the first and only time Grandma Leona gave me a little swat.
Oh, you got a little Christmas spanking, huh?
I never got over that, and lo and behold, we have had these for years. So it maybe wasn't a good memory of my grandma, but it is. Every time we get these Noel bells out at Christmas, I just think, oh my, that was the day I got a swatting from Grandma Leona.
Oh, that's great.
And I was usually the perfect little Dougie, as my sisters will admit. I didn't usually cause a lot of problems, but, but I have that memory.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I did take these. I was asked to be on the Antique Roadshow.
Oh, really?
They heard about this collection. Yeah. So,
they said even if you're missing the end,
they said we hear that. So I was on the Antique Roadshow with these. They invited me on the show, and I showed them. And of course, you know how they look at stuff. And the guy interviewed me and said, "Oh my," he says, and he opened the box and goes, "Where's the end?" I told him the story. Well, he said, "Sir, we'd like to inform you, we're sorry to say, if you had the N for your whole collection, insurance value would probably be around $15,000 to $20,000.
Unbelievable.
He said there was 3 of these in the world made, 3 or 4. But he said, well, without the N, good luck getting $50.
Yeah.
So, fun story.
Hopefully we'll get lucky and run into a Leo someday. Maybe Leo is interested in this set because we could do that.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I'd sell it. I have
No.
But anybody has an N out there, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, let's show a little bit of a close up here. Somebody out there has to have this set. I mean, I doubt they have the original box. I mean, with
the paper,
with the highly desirable paper insert that you never see. This is, as they say, rare as hen's teeth.
I mean,
right here. Yeah, we are missing the spot. We're missing the. We have an open cavity for the N in Noel. Boy, if you had the original red candles that go with these too, because these are these are like little birthday cake candles holders here.
I mean, I just couldn't believe when the guy told me the value of these.
50 grand.
I mean, Charlotte,
I think he was a little light.
This could have put you through college, Charlotte. Yeah.
I think he was a little light on that.
Anybody with the N out there, and I have just one other Christmas story.
Please.
Had a good memory on. Of course, our house was kind of like Everybody Loves Raymond. You know that show, Ray Ramone.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Yes. Everyone popping in.
Household, and everybody loved Dougie. And I do remember for Christmas one year, I got a regulation size pool table for Christmas.
Whoa.
A pool table,
Whoa.
regulation size, and I was only like in 5th grade. So that was a pretty special gift that probably my sister's nose was a little bit bent over. But
I would say so.
I mean, I was quite the pool player back then. I really was. I was short back then. I could barely see over the table. So, but I was quite a little pool player. So that is one great memory I have. I received that, and that's a pretty cool gift. Then.
Did you have a nickname around pool? Like, I feel like I've heard a story about like you would go down to the Lake of the Ozarks every year and be able to shark some people at stick because you had a pool table at home.
Well, yeah, I had the pool table. We also had a little pinball machine.
Oh, geez.
Yep. So
I didn't know you had a pinball machine as well.
Yes, I did. And so, yeah, I got to admit I was pretty good. And I seeing my sister sitting over there. I do have another quick story. She'll probably remember the Christmas. I said, Sherry, tell me what I'm getting for Christmas.
Uh-oh.
And I'll tell you. Well, she says, you're getting a BB gun. I said, you're getting a great big Barbie house and all kinds of Barbie set up is what you're getting. Okay, we won't tell each other. Well, lo and behold, Christmas came and went. I got my BB gun. There was not a Barbie doll house. So sorry,
man.
Sherry. I kind of told a little lie, and that's not like me. But no, I did. And Sherry still remembers that.
Oh, trust but verify, Sherry. You should have tracked down at least the box. At least the box, something that looked like could possibly have a Barbie house in it.
Yep. So that was a lie that I feel bad about. So yeah, that was a Christmas memory I have there. Yeah.
Well, I do have to say, since I got you here, and I've got another 4 minutes left. Actually, we got time. My next guest isn't for a minute. I want to share a Christmas story with my dad here. One year, I remember the Christmas that you got me the Cox helicopter. This was a gas-powered helicopter. That, I mean, I was probably Charlotte's age. I was probably 11, 12, somewhere right in there.
That'd be about right, yeah.
And it was a helicopter about this big, but it had a little gas engine on it. And so you had to prime the pump, and you had to put the little specialty fuel in there. But you would have to spin the top propeller, and it was like really spring-loaded tight.
A lot of compression.
And you had to get your finger out of there so the propeller could go frrr, and then eventually it would start the helicopter, and then the main propeller would start moving. Well, your finger was a bloody mess because you couldn't get your finger out quick enough without it swinging around and clipping your finger. So I remember good old Dad on that chilly Christmas morning. We're out trying to fly this helicopter with numb fingers anyway, and you're getting your finger chopped up. So we finally got the thing to go. And the thing goes with a full tank of gas, and then it just went, and then 5 minutes later we're going, like it was like a little speck in the air. Yeah. It took off. We don't know where. We put too much gas in it. It flew away.
Yeah, it headed north. I'm not so sure. It didn't end up clear out of Sugarville. I don't know. We should go out and find out if they know where that's at.
Most people get a drone and then they crash it, but then they can find it. But this was just like a gas-powered helicopter. We just let go, and it could still be flying right now.
I bet one of the Sugars have that. We're gonna have to get a hold of them.
I bet Mike Sugar found it and he took it. He hid it in his garage.
I think so. We'll have to check that out because I remember that's where it headed. So, but that is in our story. So it was a one-flight helicopter. That was another $80.
This whole segment has turned into all the things I had in the past that I wish I still had.
Yes.
Like I'd love to have that Cox helicopter. Dan Owen told us about the dirt bike that he'd still love to have.
Yes.
So we got to track that down. We got to track down your old pool table.
Yes, that would be awesome.
We've got to track down the N.
The N.
We got to track down the N in there, and we can fake it with some replica little red candles. Right? We can tell them they're the original. Maybe we'll burn them halfway down.
They probably make repops.
They make repops for everything these days. Yeah, another reason why we're getting rid of all the signs.
I don't know that I'll get invited back on the road show, but we'll see.
I think you should have maybe taken the $50,000 and just done a dividend payout and said sorry to everybody and bought a replica set. But you know what? We're gonna make it our mission. We're gonna make it our mission to get the N from the Noel back in here. And you know what? Let's hit on a sore subject.
Okay.
Let's hit on a sore subject real quick.
Okay.
Dad took a year off, folks, and everybody is allowed a year off. The old man took a year off from all the Christmas lights at the house.
Yes,
we realized it's like the pig. We know everybody misses the pig.
Yeah.
You know, we know we look forward to it. But the problem is you work too damn much.
Well,
you work too damn much.
I am taking a year off. Saying right now, Dave Davies, several years ago, downtown, he goes, "Hey, Clark Griswold." So I do have the name of Clark Griswold. I'm taking a year off, but folks, next year, I promise is going to be bigger than ever, because I think all you guys are going to be there helping me, and we're going to be doing it while it's 95 degrees out. But folks, wait till next year. It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, okay.
So Clark Griswold is coming back, I promise.
So that's fine. I'm down with that as long as we do it when it's shorts and T-shirt weather.
Yes.
Because as I've told you, if there's one thing worse than putting up Christmas lights, it's putting up someone else's Christmas lights.
Good point.
That
is so true.
Yeah, but I'm happy to help. We're gonna wrangle in one tea, and we're gonna wrangle in some friends. We're gonna do the old, hey, why don't you swing by real quick bit, and maybe we'll get a bunch of people over to the house.
I have a ton of friends around. I think we can get a pretty good group of people to help.
Maybe they've got some old lights in the garage they don't want either. That way you can troubleshoot and fix the lights.
No, we don't do that.